Before moving on to our next lesson, let's answer first activity number 7, which I gave you in our last video lesson. So here are tasks to determine the slope of the line given its graph. So how do we determine the slope of the line? Okay, what are we going to do? We determine 2 points lying on the line, most preferably those points whose coordinates are integers. Okay, what do you mean by integers? Those are whole numbers which are signed, except for 0, of course. 0 is neither positive nor negative. Okay, so let's find here a point whose coordinates are integers. We have this one. Malalaman mo siya actually, students, kapag naglie siya sa intersection ng vertical at saka horizontal grids. Okay. Pipiliin natin yung magkalapit lamang na points na ang coordinates ay integers. Ito sila ang pinakamalapit sa isa't isa. Bakit natin ito gagawin? Para hindi ganong kalaki yung mga numbers na isosolve natin. Okay? Kasi kapag malayo sila sa isa't isa, we'll be dealing with bigger numbers. So step 2 is we are going to draw a right triangle from the first point going to the second point. So this is our first point and this will be our second point. Okay. Let's draw a right triangle going from the first point going to the second point. And then we count the rise. Okay? Kapag ang rise natin ay pababa, ibig sabihin negative. Kapag paakyat naman, it's positive. Okay. Bilangin natin to. 1, 2, 3. Tatlong units pero pababa, so that is negative. From this point going to this point, so we have how many units? We have 1, 2. Saan siya papunta? Ang direksyon, papuntang left, so negative. Okay. So we get now the ratio of the rise and the run, that is rise over run. Okay. Our rise is -3 and our run is -2. So we simplify, negative divided by negative is positive, so we have 3/2 as our slope. Regardless of the points that you have selected in the line. How about item number 2? Okay. So we choose this point and this point. Magkalapit sila sa isa't isa. Okay? So, we count the rise and the run. So, we have, this is, the rise is 1. Going down, it's negative. Then, from this point going to the second point, it's still -1 because it's going to the left. Then, we get the ratio now. So, we have, our rise is -1 and our run is also -1. So negative divided by negative is positive and 1 divided by 1 is 1. Very easy. Next, how about item number 3? Item number 3 and number 4 actually are both negative. They have negative slopes rather. So, again, same technique. We are going to determine 2 points whose coordinates are integers. Okay, so we have this point. Then the points must be near to each other at this point. Okay. Let's have this and this. Okay. So we have the rise is 1, 2. Going down, it's negative. From this point, going to the second point, we have 3. Going to the right, it's positive. So our rise is -2 and our run is +3. So the slope is -2/3. How about number 4? Okay, say we have chosen these points here and this point. Okay, see, pag ganito naman tayo. Okay, so let's draw a right triangle from this point going to this point. Let's count the rise. That is 2 going up, that's positive. Then from this point going to this point, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to the left, it's negative. So our rise is +2 and our run is -5. The proper way of writing this one is you're going to write negative here, okay, aligned to the division symbol. So we have 2 divided by 5. So we have -2/5 is our slope. Then lastly, we have here the slope of the equation, that is y is equal to 1 and that is always equal to 0. The slope of any horizontal line, regardless of the equation, even if they have different equations, that is always equal to 0. Now, how about the slope of vertical lines? The slope of all vertical lines ay ano? Undefined. Regardless of the equation. This line has equation x is equal to 3. Okay? Kahit pa x is equal to negative 1, ang slope niya pa rin ay undefined. Okay? Next. Determining the slope of a line given 2 points. Okay. Halimbawa, wala na tayong graph. Binigay na lang sa atin ay points. How are we going to do that? Actually, um, halos ano lang siya, madidak natin yung formula mula doon sa graph. Okay? Balikan man natin ito. Okay. Itong rise natin ay ano, malalaman natin mamaya na siya ay difference pala ng y coordinates at ito naman ay difference ng x coordinates. Okay. So, the slope of the line given 2 points with coordinates x sub 1, y sub 1, and x sub 2, y sub 2 is determine this equation as what I told you, the difference of the y coordinates and the difference of the x coordinates. Ano ibig sabihin ng difference? Result of subtracting two numbers. Okay? Pwede rin ganito. Itong dalawang equation na ito ay pareho lamang. Kung ano sa palagay mo ay mas madali para sa iyo gamitin, yun ang gagamitin mo. For example, we have this 2 points here, negative 2, negative 4, and 2, 1. Okay, what is the slope? We can make use of this first equation. M is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1. So our y sub 1 is this, and is our y sub 2. Then divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1 is our x sub 2. Mean to say, x coordinate ng second point. Ito naman ang x sub 1. Ibig sabihin, x coordinate ng first point. Then we substitute. So we have y sub 2 is 1 minus our x sub 1 is negative 2. Okay. Kapag ang coordinate ay negative, students, huwag niyong kalimutan na ilagay sa negative 2 para hindi niyo miss yung negative sign na ilagay. How about our okay, by the way, that is 4, not 2. Ayan. Then how about our x sub 2? Our x sub 2 is 2 minus our x sub 1 is negative 2. Again, enclose it in a parenthesis because the x coordinate is negative. Then we perform the operation. Is remember subtracting integers. So we have keep into mind the rule keep change change. Keep the minuend 1, change the operation from minus to plus. Then change the sign from negative to positive, so we have 1 plus 4. Then we have here 2, keep 2, then change minus from minus to addition. Then we have change negative to positive, so we have 2. So 1 plus 4 is equal to 5, then we have 5/4 is the slope of the line. Okay? We can also make use of the second equation. We have y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2. Let's substitute. Our y sub 1 is negative 4. Then we have our y sub 2 is 1. Then we have our x sub 1 is negative 2. Ma'am, bakit hindi na siya ilagay sa parenthesis? Nauna naman kasi siya. Kapag kasunod lamang siya, mas magandang ilagay sa parenthesis. Okay? How about our x sub 2? We have minus, okay, 2. And then we perform the operation. Negative 4 minus 1 is negative 5. Negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. So we have now negative divided by negative is positive, then 5/4. Okay, notice that we arrive at the same slope. Now we can verify it by graphing or plotting the 2 points in the coordinate plane. Okay, so let's plot the 2 points. We have negative 2 and negative 4. Okay, this is the first point, and the second point, positive 2 and 1. We connect the 2 points here. And then we determine the rise and the run. Okay, let's make use of green. Okay, first sketch a right triangle. Okay, o pwede namang dito, papunta dyan. Okay, rise is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going down, it's negative. Then from this point going to the second point, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Going to the left, it's negative. Then getting the ratio of the rise and the run, rise is negative 5, and our run is negative 4. So, negative divided by negative ay positive, so 5/4. Okay? We arrive at the same answer. Okay? I hope you understand it well. Okay? So, for your practice, okay, pause this video for a while and answer items 1, 2, and 3. Then after answering, play the video again to check your work. Okay? And then among the two equations, just choose which one you think is easier to use. Okay? So, let's answer. Okay. So first is, so that you'll not be confused in in the substitution process, you write on top the name for each. We have x sub 1, this y sub 1, this is x sub 2, and this is y sub 2. Okay. So, ako, mas comfortable ako doon sa slope na y sub 1 minus y sub 2 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2. Kasi madali siyang mag-mental math. Okay? So, yung pagaya niyan, i-mental math ko to. 4 minus 3, 1 agad. Diba? Negative 2 minus 5, negative 7 agad siya. Okay? So, pero sa mga hindi pa masyadong maka-mental math, okay, dadaanan natin yung proseso. So, we have m is equal to, our y sub 1 is 4 minus y sub 2, which is 3. Then we have our x sub 1 is negative 2 minus 5. So we have 4 minus 1 is equal to 1. And then we have negative 2 minus 5 is negative 7. We have to write our answer properly. So positive divided by negative is negative. Align this it to the division symbol of the fraction. So we have 1 over 7. Okay? So our slope here is 1 over 7. Next, for item number 2. Okay. So dito na lang tayo sa item number 2. This is our x sub 1 and this is our y sub 1, x sub 2, and y sub 2. Okay. Our y sub 1 is 2 and y sub 2 is 3. It's always minus. Then we have our x sub 1 is 3 minus our x sub 2, which is 7. You have 2 minus 3 is negative 1. Then we have 3 minus 7 is equal to negative 4. So therefore, our slope is 1/4. Next, for item number 3, we have the slope is equal to this is our x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Our y sub 1 is 0 minus our y sub 2 is 3. X sub 1 is negative 6 minus our x sub 2 0. So therefore, our slope now is 0 minus 3 is negative 3. Negative 6 minus 0 is negative 6. Simplifying this, we have negative divided by negative is positive, but both 3 and 6 are divisible by 3. So divide both by 3. Negative 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So the slope in item number 3 is positive 1/2. I hope you got it correctly. And for items number 4, 5, and 6, continue answering this, and this will be submitted for checking and recording. Okay? So, enjoy solving.